Okay, you're good.
Yes, good morning. This is Wednesday, August the 18th. I'd like to call this Osage Minerals Council meeting to order. With that, I'd like to have the opening prayer by Second Chair Red Eagle. Sir, Awatika.
Oh, wait. Thank you, Chairman. Itasi Wakanda, Wakanda Jinki, Hawachiko me, ma, bade, me. Nekonse Hala Wakanda Wajaji, Wajadi Alkombele, Wakanda Jinki, Wajadi Dale, Wajaji. Hako was Gonska, doing Daishi, Danta Daishi, the Wajaji. Wiki in energy. Ask for your support. Thank you, Father, for this beautiful day. Thank you for the seasons that you so graciously grant us, Father, for our use and for our survival, Father. Give us strength today. Lead us and guide us into the future, Father, for the sake of our shareholders, Father, all our people that we represent. Bless all those that are here in attendance today. Bless all our visitors and bless the people that will be on the screen, Father. Bless all their families, Father. Give us strength today, Father, with the business and the procedures that we have to carry on, Father. So strengthen us that way, Father. In Jesus' name. Shana Wakandi Jinki. Nekon Allah Wakanda Wakandi Jinki. Ina Lede Wala Wajaji. Wali Wajaji. Wakanda Wakandi Jinki. Shana Wakandi Jinki. Jesus. Amen.
Amen. I'd like to reach out to some of our families out there who are in mourning, and our hearts and prayers go out to you. We understand in this COVID, its brutality, but we also want you to know that prayers of the Lord are answered in hard times, and they don't get much harder than this for some of you. And your thoughts and our prayers are for you. With that, I'd like to have a roll call, please.
Chairman, the list of deceased Osage Indians.
Would you please take care of that, sir?
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Chairman.
you.
Roger G. Freeman, February 21st, 2021, Sedan, Kansas. Jack Gregory, May 29, 2021, Springfield, Missouri. Teresa Marie H. Hutchinson, January 26, 2021, Barnesville, Oklahoma. Billy J. Swan, July 9th, 2021, Skytook, Oklahoma. Dwayne J. Palmer, July 21st, 2021, Tulsa, Oklahoma. May they rest in peace.
Oh, thank you, sir. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Foreman,
Present.
Councilwoman Gray,
She'll be available here shortly.
Councilwoman Harlan,
Here.
Councilman Redcorn,
Here.
Second Chair Red Eagle,
Here.
Councilman Rebar,
Present.
Chairman Waller.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Chairman Waller, do I need to add those agenda items now, or?
Yes, dear. Go ahead. And we just had a IT trouble getting it out, but I want you to put on the record that we're going to add in old business those two items we had discussed.
Okay, the first one would be the discussion about the AAPG breakout session. And
I might add EDN on the fundamentally on new business B. I'd like for you to close with that as an addition to it.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yes, you have that fundamentals of the carbon capture. Is any way you can combine these?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that
Thank
would
you.
be fine.
And the
And
second was the records at Aiken and Gump that we need
yes,
to
the
retrieve.
retrieval of records. Yes.
Thank you, Derek. Also, we need to do the resolution for the consultation meeting that will be added after we come out of executive. And the update on the NL case, I will have to give a short update in executive to my counsel. The effort, and I do want to add one thing while we're on talking about these records. Councilman Rivard had asked about the well records we have down here in Hominy. They are in a locked area by the Housing Authority parking lot. I've not been in those, but we're going to request that we get through the procedure and see who's actually got the entrance for that. And I have not been in them yet, sir, but I will definitely get us the route so we can go look at them. They are sealed and they are protected in a compound. That's as much as I got on that. But thank you. And with that, I'd like to go on to the superintendent's report.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Superintendent.
Don't really have that much to report. We have a total of 14,852 producing wells, less 3,230 for saltwater disposal. Subsurface reported 1 plugging permit and 1 emergency plugging permit. And that pretty much takes care of the superintendent's report. Are there any questions?
Yes,
Council,
yes, I have a
Councilwoman
question.
Foreman.
Thank you. I didn't have time to put my hand up, and doesn't stay up anyway. So, a glitch with my computer, I'm sure. But I would like to know how many, well, a couple of questions. First of all, we had asked you some things last meeting. You were going to get back to us, and I wished I'm not having instant recall here, but hopefully you got that information for us and can report it today. I think it was for several of the council members. And also, I would like to know how many pending permits we have.
How many pending permits?
Yeah, for drilling approvals and workover approvals.
I believe that was the actual question that was requested.
Okay. Let me see if I can answer that. Pending. It looks like we have, this is as of August 1st, 2020. Looks like we have 8 drilling permits that are pending, 26 plugging permits, and 10 workover permits.
That was 8 drilling permits, did you say?
Yes.
Okay. And I remember what it was. You were going to get back to us on if the EIS has helped us expedite these permits, and maybe a little information on if they're moving quicker through the process because of the
I
EIS.
did. Pardon me.
Thank you,
I did.
Superintendent.
Thank you. I did speak with Ben Daniels, and Ben Daniels had said that we haven't actually had a lot of EAs that have came in. But he did say that overall what the agency is trying to do at this point in trying to assist the lessees, we are working on revising the template that will be posted on the website that lessees would be able to utilize in submitting environmental assessments in the future. So I'm not really able to answer that question at this point because I don't really know.
So is the template streamlined, or is it intended
Yes.
to expedite? Okay.
Yes, there is a template right now that is on the website that we have posted in working with one of our lessees. And right now at this point, Ben is trying to streamline that and have a new one reposted on the website. So I'll let you know as soon as it's done.
That would be good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Council,
welcome.
any other questions? Councilman Rivard.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Good morning, Superintendent. A couple of questions. One, I assume your office to some degree follows the fish and wildlife changes and developments, I guess you'd say. I was wondering if you hear of anything concerning the American burying beetle, where that litigation stands, whether or not our producers are still required or not required to do anything special for that American burying beetle. And secondly, on that same subject, and I've got one other subject, uh, at our Osage shareholders meeting the other day, there was talk about uh, the possibility of the lesser prairie chicken being included on the endangered species list. Is that something you've heard of, or something we should be concerned about?
Thank you, Council. Superintendent.
Then I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to go ahead and answer what I can answer right now at this point? As
Yes,
far as the
ma'am.
litigation, I'm not aware of the litigation, and nor would I be able to speak of it. We are following the 4D rule that is out there on the U.S. Fish and Wildlife website. And I haven't heard anything about the lesser prairie chicken on this side of the state.
Good. Okay, well, that's good to know. Uh, we hear all kinds of things, and it just seemed like maybe one more bullet's getting loaded in a chamber somewhere, and I guess we're just kind of gun shy, or at least I am. Okay,
We all are.
the I've heard from a producer recently about who had submitted a drilling permit, and it had to do with cementing the casing in the well, and it was something that a permit application where they were wanting to drill a well, and of course on the 139 intent to drill forms, you you state the procedure of what you are wanting to do and are seeking approval to do. Included in that is the cement program for cementing casing in the event you run casing. Always, well, years ago, and it's been a while, it's been 7 years since I've been around a new drill, but it used to be that if you're going to run a log string and cement it to surface, you didn't even have to run surface pipe. And then it became kind of a standard thing to run surface casing below the freshwater zone and then go about drilling. And
That's correct.
then you would cement above the top of the producing zone, your most shallow zone that you anticipated producing oil and gas from, and not all the way to surface. Well, I learned recently somebody's permit was denied because uh, your engineer, or our engineer, Mr. Kohler, I think, rejected the permit because they wanted the long string. And for those who may not know, when I mention long string, I'm talking about the production casing. That's usually 4.5 or 5.5 inch pipe from bottom to top. That their permit was denied based on the fact that they had not planned to cement all the way to surface. They were just going to go up above the highest, most shallow producing zone that they anticipated completing. Now, this is problematic for a couple of reasons. One, the expense of having all this extra cement that's not needed, and secondly, as I think Councilman Redcorn would be familiar with, once you're cementing your casing and you're trying to bring fluid up to surface, it creates a hydrostatic pressure pushing down onto your formations below. The higher it gets, the more pressure, just the weight of the cement. And what typically happens is as you try to bring this column of fluid up so high and it starts to build this pressure, it's forcing the cement into the real permeable porous zones in the well. Sometimes it's our really good producing zones that have all this good porosity and permeability that starts drinking this cement, which is very damaging to the producing formation. So uh, that's one of the reasons why people don't want to bring it to surface. There are other remedies if you had to have it to surface. You can always perforate above your cement and bring it on up from there, or you could run a DV tool and open it up and pump it later. But there's no real need to. So my question is, at, uh, was there a policy change regarding cementing long strings? If so, who makes that decision? Third, can that decision be challenged on a per well basis? And does your engineer or our engineer, Mr. Kohler, who I have a lot of respect for, by the way, is it his sole discretion? Or is it some policy across the whole Bureau of Indian Affairs countrywide? I just would like to know, and I'm sure our producers would like to know the answers to those questions. And if you can answer that, I'd appreciate it. And if you need to speak with Mr. Kohler or others, that's fine too. I'd just like to start the dialogue as to what the procedure is, who makes this decision, and can it be challenged? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Council. Superintendent?
Well, I'm not the subject matter expert there, so yes, we would
Yes.
definitely need to have either Mr. Winlock, the deputy superintendent, or Stephen Collier, our petroleum engineer, to answer that question. I just wonder, would we be able, because you didn't say what lessee it was, and I'm not going to ask. I'm just wondering if by chance, Chairman, if you would be so kind to put that in a written document so that
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can actually respond.
Yes, Superintendent, we'll take care of that.
Thank you.
Linnea, please leave Lacey that item. Is there any other questions, Council?
No, and I appreciate you, Superintendent. Thank you for your answers.
You're welcome.
Hearing none, I'd like to thank the Superintendent. We'll get that right out to you. And then I'd like to go into my audit report. Linnea, do you have it available?
I'm Lacey.
Lacey, could you take care of this real quick, please?
Yes, sir. The Osage oil and gas calculated reports for June production, July collections. Gross barrels, 334,998. Royalty barrels, 50,022. Gross barrels versus royalty barrels, 14.93%. Daily barrels produced, 11,166.61. Average price per barrel, $69.35.
Excellent.
Collections for July, 3,520,990. Total gas royalty, 105,845. Tank bottom royalty, 251. Total oil and gas royalty, $3,627,086. Actual receipts, $3,627,086. There's no difference between calculated and actual. Osage information sheet, total collections, $3,960,109.61. Average price per barrel, $70.39.
Excellent.
Average daily barrels of oil produced, 11,167. September quarterly annuity payment, 4,830. Gross production tax paid, $551,143.16.
Ma'am, does that complete your report?
Yes, sir.
Would you put for the record the payment for the per head right?
I'm sorry, what?
The payment?
$4,830.
Thank you for the record for our shareholder. Thank you. Council, with that, any questions?
Chairman, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Second Chair Red Eagle.
Thank you, Chairman. Lacey, what was the average price of barrel per day? Average barrel per day, I'm sorry.
Average barrels produced daily was 11,166.
Thank you.
Excellent question. Council, any other questions? Hearing none, I'd like to move on down. Thank you so much, Lacey.
Chairman Waller.
Councilman Redcorn, please.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to put my hand up.
Thank you, sir.
Not so much a question, but a comment. I didn't see this, still jockeying around, but I read it yesterday. and it looks like it's got all the elements we used to have. I was pleased with the improvement on production, daily production from last year. We've gone from, I can't remember, it's 9,000 something to 11,000 something. Lacey's shaking her head yes, so I think my estimate's correct. So that's good news to me. We've got to fight for more barrels. You know, the price of oil fluctuates kind of out of our control, but the number of barrels produced per day is in our control. We need to push all our decisions to continue to get that moving upward. So just to encourage the rest of our council to, you know, let's keep going on that number. Thank you, Lacey. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Lacey, I'm going to move on the agenda. I'm up to item number 6, new business, recognition of contribution. Councilman Redcorn, please.
Thank you, Chairman. I apologize for the mask. It is a requirement by the nation's, Osage Nation, to wear a mask in all facilities. So I'd like to just to apologize to folks that are on.
No, none needed. You're protecting my children, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to, a little bit of history. I worked with Mr. Red Eagle a couple of years ago, and we started one project, and I don't know if he remembers, but it was called Oil Hound. And we kind of took off with Oil Hound. It was a Baylor unit, and we got the Oil Hound to come out and do a test in the field, and we thought it was a good idea, and we pushed it. It didn't work, but that spirit, you know, we got to keep going. So we started the orphan well concept, and basically that's taken over, or looking into all these wells and leases that producers kind of walk away from, or something happens, the company folds, whatever, and we got these, what we call, quote, orphan wells and orphan leases. So we wrote a grant to assess those to see if there was still value in those locations. We were told by then Chairman, Mr. Yates, Chairman Yates, that he figured about 5% of all those wells would still have value. He wasn't far off when we got done.
Never was.
That was a pretty good estimate. So hats off to Mr. Yates. So we did have a lot of locations. There was a value assessment on all these 1,602 wells and 552 leases completed. Mr. Bill Lynn through Power Tools, and we requested the council and got a license for Power Tools. So Bill Lynn, our geologist, could do the assessment using Power Tools. But what was also needed, or was best that we could do this value determination, was a reservoir assessment, and to see what production was still available in these locations. So Bill Lynn reached out and found a gentleman named Stephen Burns. Stephen Burns is an Osage tribal member. He is an Osage headright holder. He retired out of oil companies, and I don't know which one at this point, for after many years of being employed in that regime. Devin. It was Devin, okay. Devin, said Mr. Redding. So he worked with Bill Lynn pro bono for free to help him determine the status of these reservoirs based on the production data that we had at the time. And so him with Bill Lynn were able to separate out wells they thought would still have some lifetime in them, and what they would eventually say had no value, they would put it on the plugging list. If they didn't have, if they do have value, they're gonna put it on the producing list. So we developed this list, and that list is still going. So at this moment, I would like to recognize and request the council to purchase a plaque, and with the inscriptions that we thank Mr. Stephen Burns for his contributions to the Osage Mineral Reserve.
I would
Is that
second that.
Thank you. I was going to ask you, is that in form of a motion, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I would
I have
second.
your motion and a second. I have a motion by Councilman Redcorn, seconded by Councilwoman Foreman. Let's call for the question.
Chairman, I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna ask Lacey, do we have money to pay for a plaque?
We can purchase a plaque, yes.
Okay, is that okay, Chairman? That's my only question.
Yes, sir. And she was going to have our only answer. Thank you so much for checking. But call for a question will be great.
Thank you, Chair.
Councilwoman Foreman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlan,
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn,
Yes.
Second Chair Red Eagle,
Yes.
Councilman Rebar,
Yes.
Chairman Waller.
Yes,
Motion passes.
I can personally commend Mr. Burns for, he called us and said he could help, and he offered that help. It's a rarity in this world, and to have that expertise, he was a very high-ranking official in one of the largest oil companies in the world, and to bring that to his people, that's a true blessing. Thank you, brother. I'm going to move on.
Thank you.
I have next item, AAPG, Fundamentals of the Carbon Capture Training. Councilwoman Foreman.
Thank you, Chairman. I had, as everyone knows, we are going to be the anchor sponsor for the American Association of Petroleum Geologists Conference in Tulsa this year. And these conferences offer short courses and field trips, one of which, of course, is our bus tour of the Osage, which we hope is fully attended. But as I was perusing the short courses, and all of you have the link on Board Book It, one of the short courses, let's see, is entitled, let me get the name of it, Fundamentals of Carbon Capture, Utilization, and Storage. It takes place, it's a full day course, takes place on Sunday, October the 3rd. I'm sure it's out by the time they have their opening ceremonies, but this is such an important topic in this day and age, because, well, right now, and thanks to council members Red Eagle and especially Redcorn's contributions and inspiration with all of these new findings for potential for enhanced oil recovery in the Osage Nation, combined with our challenge to produce fossil fuels without continuing to pollute the environment, we have an opportunity to sequester CO2, probably not in just one area, but several. And so this particular course really caught my eye because I think it would be very beneficial for all of us to attend it, to learn more about this new phase in fossil fuel production and how it complements solutions to climate change. So I'm making a motion that any council member that wants to attend this course, that that we pay for it.
I'll second that. With the council, any other questions? Hearing none, I do want to make the comment is that we have our tour on Saturday. We'll have this element on Sunday, and the actual opening is on Monday. And we have sent an email out on, is that correct?
No, I think it's Sunday evening, but
The opening of the
opening ceremony.
opening ceremony is Sunday. Okay, so we're matched.
Yeah.
Call for the question, please.
Councilwoman Harlan,
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn,
Yes.
Second Chair Red Eagle,
Yes.
Councilman Rebar,
Yes.
Chairman Waller,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foreman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
With that, I'd entertain a motion to go into
Oh.
executive, please.
So-
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Council, yes, I think we wanted to include the retrieval of records in this segment. That was what we added.
That's correct. Please continue.
Yes, I just wanted to, quite a while ago, we passed a resolution to request the records that have been stored at Aiken Gump now for a number of years. And it was my understanding that we needed a letter signed by the trust team, which includes you, Chairman Waller, as well as the chief and the Speaker of the Congress.
That's
And
correct.
I believe that letter has been composed. It's pretty short and to the point. I went back and looked at it today, and I just wanted to see if that has been sent around, if, just get an update on the
Yes.
status of that letter.
Yes, we did send it to executive.
Okay, so we're just waiting on that. Did we send it to the speaker?
Lacey?
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to, what letter are we talking about?
The letter to Aiken Gump to request our settlement, all the records they acquired
Retained.
during the lawsuit proceedings. They have contacted, they've reached out to us to give them back, but they need this letter apparently. And I was just wanting an update on, has it been circulated? Has it, who signed it? Has it been sent? Because I haven't really heard anything. And, if it's going to take this long, maybe we just need to turn it back over to our geologist. It was Aiken Gump that reached out to our geologist in the first place to arrange to get these records back. So perhaps we need to just turn it over to our geologist to handle.
That would be great, but we're answering the Pond Grace letter that requested the 3 federal signatures.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Thank you.
well, I just, it's taken quite a while. I think we need to get this done and
Yes,
get the
ma'am.
records in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Lacey, you and I had sent that out,
I'm gonna say, yes, we did. But I don't
but
know.
I
the
have never
status
had
of
any
how-
response to it. But anyway, with that being said, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive.
Chairman, may I?
Yes, Councilman Rivard.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, so you haven't said how long ago it's been that you sent it out. Has it been long enough that you should have received a response from executive
Yes,
by
sir.
now? May I suggest that maybe we have a follow-up call or
Yes, sir.
some type of correspondence with the executive branch in the
Yes, sir.
Congress? All right, thank
Through
you.
email, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, council? Call for a motion, go in executive.
I second it.
I have a motion on the floor by Chairman Waller, seconded by Second Chair Red Eagle. Any discussion? Council, I'd like to take care of our issues before we allow Mr. Heiner's moments. And this will only take a few minutes, but if you can keep him in the waiting room, Lacey will be available probably in short order. Please stop the recording. Oh, excuse me, call for the vote.
Councilman Redcorn,
Yes.
Second Chair Red Eagle,
Yes.
Councilman Rebar,
Yes.
Chairman Waller,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foreman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, dear.
Hold on just a second.
Yes, ma'am.